every Chaturmasya, especially at the time of Rath Yatra festival, they used to come and then to attend with him and stay with him. So whenever they used to come, Kashi Mishra was the superintendent of Pratap Rudra. He used to arrange the accommodation and prasadam. So Pratap Rudra gave a standing order to Kashi Mishra: whatever they want, he should supply them. Whatever anybody wants from you, especially the associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you should do everything possible to supply it to them. So that was standing order of Pratap Rudra. And Kashi Mishra used to provide them accommodation, many houses there, probably made of huts or whatever arrangements they did, so that they can comfortably stay, have darshan of Jagannath, and also associate with Mahaprabhu. So in fact, Shivanand Sen, when all these people, Bengali devotees, when they were coming from Bengal, it was Shivanand Sen who used to arrange for their accommodation, for their travel and prasadam. So we see from Mahaprabhu's pastime that this is one of the services which is important and which is also very difficult, because anybody who has arranged accommodations and prasadam for devotees who come, they know that it's a job where many people will praise you, but many people will criticize you also, because many people, they don't get accommodation of their own, of their choice, so they want to change, and then you have to keep options. It's a very difficult service. People who have done this service, they know it's a very, very difficult service, and very you need very mature person to do this service, because there are seniors, there are juniors. For seniors, you have to give a better accommodation, and everybody has to be satisfied. And then some people are coming at some time, some people are coming other time. You have to be continuously on guard, and then not do anything so that anybody gets offended. So you have to deal with many people, so you have to be mature. This shows that Kashi Mishra was very mature devotee. Of course, they are all associates of Mahaprabhu, but he was mature. There were many devotees of Mahaprabhu. All didn't have the same qualities. So just like we hear in Bengal, there was a devotee, Bhagwan Acharya, and Krishna Consciousness Swami writes there that he was a simple devotee, or maybe Mahaprabhu's servant Govinda. They were all simple devotees. They were not like managers. Sarvabhuta Damodar, he was a manager, and also he was very scholarly. Ramanand Rai, all these people were also having managerial skills. So even at time of Mahaprabhu, we can see different devotees had different types of skills, and they were engaged in services according to their skills. So here actually, then of course Kashi Mishra, Mahaprabhu said, okay, you arrange everything, and you give one place to me, and you give one place to Haridas Thakur, so that Haridas Thakur can stay, and also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he was staying at Kashi Mishra's house in Gambhira, and Haridas Thakur was staying at Siddhapakul alone, so that they can chant, and they can be absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So Mahaprabhu was requesting Kashi Mishra all these things for Haridas Thakur, for other devotees, and this. So that Mishra gaye. So at this point, Kashi Mishra said, "Saba tumar chaha ki karane Apana icchai laha jai tumar mane. Kashi Mishra then told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everything belongs to you. What is the use of your begging? By your own will, you can take whatever you like. So that is what Kashi Mishra tells Mahaprabhu. Saba tumar chaha ki karan hai. Why are you requesting to me? Why do you request? Everything belongs to you. This is, of course, everything belonged to Prataprudra. He was a king. Mahaprabhu was simply a sannyasi. But he's saying in humility that everything belongs to you. But at the same time, he is speaking the absolute truth. He is God. He is God. So it's both ways. It's not just a statement of humility. It is the absolute truth. Everything belongs to Lord Chaitanya, and by your own will you can take whatever you like. That's what he said. So in the case of Mahaprabhu, this is absolute truth. But anyway, Kashi Mishra is also teaching us this is proper etiquettes. When anybody requests us something, we should not think that I am giving him something. We should say, yes, it belongs to you, and you can take whatever you like. And in fact, a devotee of Krishna, like Tukaram was like that. He was like little extreme. He was a pure devotee, and whenever devotees used to come to the house and used to ask for something, the Tukaram used to say, okay, everything belongs to you and Krishna. Everything belongs to devotees and his Lord. So you can take whatever you want. That's what he used to say. And then some of the Vaishnavas on pilgrim, so they were passing by to have darshan of Vitthal. So they used to take some clothes, some broom, some vessels. His house practically became empty. At last they took the sari of his wife, and his wife had just one sari. One she was wearing, one she had, and that also he gave it to all the devotees of Lord. So that is a mood. Of course, we don't do it like that. When somebody comes to a house, okay, take whatever you want, and then they'll take your laptops and TV, and then you'll shout. We don't do that. But the mood is there. Everything belongs to Krishna and his devotees. And you can also see the Vedic culture there, the marks of Vedic culture. When somebody requests or begs somebody, okay, can you give me this? The system is not that, okay, take this, and that person will say thank you. No, that is Western system. Vedic culture is when you give to somebody, when you give, you say, okay, this belongs. You don't need to ask me. This belongs to you, because as soon as he asked him, in the mind, the owner used to think in the mind, okay, I have given this to him. Already I have given this to him, even before asking. That is a proper charity. That is a system of charity. And it is said in scriptures, when anybody asks for something, like Mahaprabhu is asking, he's a sannyasi, he's asking like charity. So when anybody asks for charity, the person who is giving, he should give it and not expect any thanks from the person who receives it. That expectation should not be there. And on the other hand, in spite of expecting thanks, the giver should tell the person whom he is giving, you don't need to thank me, it already belongs to you. That's a good Vedic culture, very nice. And then Kashi Mishra continues, Ami dui hai tumar das agyakari, je chaha se agya dehe kripa kari. So he says, my Lord, we are two servants, are just here to carry out your orders. There was Kashi Mishra and one of the attendants. By your mercy, please tell us to do whatever you want. So, Amar aage deha kripa kari. He says, Aage deha kripa kari. So Kashi Mishra is saying, please have mercy on us and give your orders. So he is teaching us that the real mercy of Krishna, real mercy of Master, is to give orders to the servant. And that's what servant likes. And the real respect of the Master is when the servant asks questions to the Master. That is a real respect. So when the servant asks question to the Master, that is real respect. And when the Master gives orders to the servant, that is real mercy of the Master. So it's Je Chaha Se Yagya Deha Kripa Kari. So have mercy on me and give me orders. That's what he wants. That's what he was saying. And he says, Tumhar das agya kari. We are a servant, we'll follow whatever you say. So we should remember that real mercy of Srila Prabhupada is his books and the orders he has given in his books. And following his instructions and orders is a real process to attain that mercy. Is a real process to receive that mercy. We can always pray to Krishna and Prabhupada to give us mercy, but if we want to receive that mercy, it's already there. It's already there in the orders and instructions of Prabhupada. He has given that. And when we advance, when we become super advanced of Paramahams, and if Krishna wants something from us, he will reveal to us. Just like Bhaktivedanta Thakur. Bhaktivedanta Thakur was praying for many years to Lord Chaitanya, please reveal, please engage me in some service. Please engage me in your service. Please reveal to me what I should do. Of course, Bhaktivedanta Thakur, after many years of his chanting, of praying, Mahaprabhu revealed to him, okay, good. Now your service is to build an Adbhut temple, a temple at the place of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So find the birth of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, find my birthplace. This is my birthplace, he revealed, and now construct a temple and announce to the world, this is Nimaya's birthplace. And Bhaktivedanta Thakur and Bhakti Santa, they did that together. They built that temple, managed that, and established that place. More than building the temple, the fight was to establish that place of birth of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because already before that there was another place. Can we go a little late?
Late?
8:40 or something.
8:40.
So there was another place, Old Mayapur. There was another place, Old Mayapur. There already there was a place of Nimaya's birthplace. So things were pretty messy because so even if you go today, you will find so when you go to Navadvip station, and when you go to Koladvip, there is Nimaya's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace, and many people still go there. But then across the Ganges, when we go in, when we cross the Ganges, we go in Antardvip. Then we can see that there Chaitanya Bhaktivedanta Thakur and Bhakti Santa established Mahaprabhu's birthplace. He found it and he established. So that was service revealed to him. So that's the idea. A servant always perceives the mercy of Lord in his instructions, in his orders, not without his orders and not without his instructions. And for us as a practitioner, all instructions and all orders are there in the Prabhupada books, and the spiritual master might give you specific instructions to follow. And Prabhupada said, the secret of my success is I followed the instructions of my spiritual master as it is. And then when we become more advanced, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna as Super Soul, might reveal to you in your heart if anything else he wants from you. So that is the idea here, which Kashi Mishra is teaching us. And then he says, 𝗖𝗂𝗿 𝗪𝗲 vidaye laila Gopinath Vaninath duhe sange nila. Saying this, Kashi Mishra, the temple inspector, took their leave, and Gopinath and Vaninath went with them. So Kashi Mishra then just left. Kashi Mishra and the temple inspector, they left, and Gopinath and Vaninath. So Gopinath, we all know, Gopinath Acharya, he was the son-in-law of Sarvam Bhattacharya. In Sarvam Bhattacharya's I think daughter's husband or sister's husband, something, yeah. So he was like that, Gopinath Acharya, and Vani, and of course, and by the way, this Gopinath Acharya, who was staying with Sarvam Bhattacharya, who was in blood relation to Sarvam Bhattacharya, for information, he was born in the next life as Baladev Vidyabhushan. He was a person. And because he was staying with Sarvam Bhattacharya, when Mahaprabhu had discussion with Sarvam Bhattacharya about Vedanta Sutra, and he convinced him that Vedanta Sutra is not a Mayavadi exposition, it's not a Mayavadi work. Rather, Vyasadeva wrote Vedanta Sutra to actually argue against Mayavad, not to establish Mayavad. And that is another story there. That's another interesting story there. It was, you see, there's no, we have politics in corporates, in business, in government, but there was politics going on also within spiritual circles. So there was a Mayavad. So Shankaracharya propagated Mayavad, and Vyasadeva, he wrote Vedanta Sutra to argue against Mayavad, and of course along with it all other atheistic philosophies. But then Shankaracharya, what he did was, so of course Mayavad was already there even before Shankaracharya, and Vyasadeva already saw in future. And of course, at that time also, at that time of Vyasadeva also, there was Mayavad, but it was not so rampant and not so widely propagated. And we know from Bhagavatam, Dattatreya, he was propagating Mayavad, and also Ashtavakra and Yoga Vasishtha. There was Mayavad, but it was not so widely known, and there was no propaganda. But nevertheless, it was there. So Vyasadeva, in his Vedanta Sutra, he argues against Mayavad, Visheshika, Nyaya, all the atheistic philosophies, and he established devotional principles. But then comes along Shankaracharya, and Shankaracharya in 9th century AD, and he said that Vedanta Sutra, it is a commentary on Mayavad. It is not argument against Mayavad, it is a commentary on Mayavad. He just takes that situation and put it on its head. He just flipped it 180 degrees opposite, and he changed the intent of Vyasadeva. He changed the meaning of Vedanta Sutras, and he interpreted Vedanta Sutra in such a way to show that Vyasadeva was actually confirming Mayavad rather than refuting it. And that was very funny and very unique. And people said, "Oh yeah, so if Vyasadeva by his Vedanta Sutra, he was establishing Mayavad, then Mayavad has to be correct." And it immediately spread all around the world. Not only all around India, but all around the world. Mayavad then seeped into Islamism as Sufism. It seeped into Christianity as Kabbalah. It seeped into Buddhist philosophies, and it took roots there. It spread almost everywhere. But then Madhva came and he said, Shankaracharya is fool, he is nonsense. Vyasadeva didn't intend to write Vedanta Sutra to support Mayavad. He actually was refuting it. And then in his commentaries he showed how Shankaracharya has misinterpreted Vedanta Sutras, and actually how he has given a wrong commentary, and he has used tactics and politics in those commentaries to establish the wrong intent, to establish the intent that Vyasadeva wrote Vedanta Sutra for establishing Mayavad. So that when Mahaprabhu came to Sarva Bhattacharya, they had this kind of discussion. Some discussions are recorded, some are not. And for 7 days they were having discussions, and he was hearing, and then after 7 days he just refuted everything. And Gopinathacharya was there. He heard it, and he was born in the next life as Baladev Vidyabhushan. And we know Baladev Vidyabhushan is a person who wrote a commentary on Vedanta Sutra known as Govinda Bhashe. So that is Gopinathacharya. Gopinathacharya, he was Baladev Vidyabhushan. And then there was Vaninath. So his full name was Vaninath Patnayak, and these were all associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So and then Gopinathe, this is 11.180. Gopinathe dekhaila sabha vas ghare, Vaninath thai dila prasad vistar. So here it is said, Gopinath was then shown all the residential places, and Vaninath was given large quantities of food left by Lord Jagannath. So Gopinath then showed all the places where the other devotees could stay. So Kashi Mishra and Temples Inspector was showing all the places where to stay to Gopinath, because Gopinath knew all the associates of Mahaprabhu, so especially all the Bengali devotees who were coming to Odisha. So Mahaprabhu had Bengali devotees and Odia devotees. Odia devotees in Odisha, Kashi Mishra they knew personally, but Bengali devotees they didn't know all of them. Because why? Because of course old timers like Advaitacharya and others, they knew Shivanand Sen Advaitacharya because they were coming everywhere. But then every year they used to bring new devotees, and then because they were also preaching there in Bengal, and Nityananda Prabhu, he was preaching vigorously, and they used to bring new devotees who were joining them. So just like now in preaching mission, many devotees joined. So he could really know them. So Kashi Mishra showed everything to Gopinacharya, all the residential places, and to Vaninath he showed. So he gave large quantities of Mahaprasad, and then it was their responsibility, Vaninath and Gopinath. He knew Bengali devotees, all of them personally, to distribute all these things and arrange for them all the arrangements. So you can see this is a good management. Yeah, this is a very nice management. This is how management has to be done, not in a chaotic way as often it happens in ISKCON or as often it happens in India. It becomes really chaotic. It should be quite properly managed, because management is also one of the services, and in fact very nice service where you can serve so many Vaishnavas just by one opportunity. Generally we serve, generally Vaishnavas come to a house, 2, 3, 4, 5 Vaishnavas, and we serve them. But management, and especially this kind of management where pilgrims go with you and you arrange for them accommodation, there is an opportunity to serve thousands of Vaishnavas in a single opportunity. By one arrow you achieve so many things. That's why it's a very nice service. So Vaninath Aila Bahu Prasad Pithalayya Gopinath Aila Vasa Samskar Kariya. Thus Vaninath Rai returned with large quantities of Lord Jagannath's food remnants, including cakes and other good eatables, and Gopinath Acharya also returned after cleansing all residential quarters. So both of them then arranged for their residential quarters in Prasad. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then addressed all Vaishnavas. Mahaprabhu kahe, this 182. Shun sarv Vaishnava gan, nij nij vas sabe karha gaman. He then addressed all Vaishnavas and requested that they listen to him. He said, now you can go to your respective residential quarters. So all these devotees, when they came to Puri, they first did not visit Jagannath temple. They first visited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And actually Prataprudra was surprised and he asked Saram Bhattacharya, why these people are actually going to meet Mahaprabhu. First they should have darshan of Jagannath. And why they should go to meet Mahaprabhu? That is a system of coming to any holy place. So Saram Bhattacharya is told, see Prataprudra, there are two ritis in scriptures. One is Sadharan riti and one is Vishesh riti. And Sadharan riti is ordinary norms, and Vishesh riti is special norm. So it is an ordinary norm in scriptures. It is a norm, but it's ordinary. It is general norm. Sadharan is general. It is general norm. When you come to holy place, you have to fast for 1 day. First you take darshan of Krishna, fast for 1 day, and probably you might also do mundan, and then next day you start everything. That's general norm. But there's a special norm, and special norm is you first don't go to Jagannath temple. You can immediately take Mahaprasadam and you can go to have darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why there is a special norm? Because general norm is for those who are in Maryada, who are following rules and regulations of scriptures. But special norm is for those who are already in love of God. So people who are in love of God, they understand that Krishna, because they love Krishna, they understand his mind, and they understand that on the path of love, on the path of devotion, pure devotion, Krishna becomes more pleased when you go to visit his devotees. They know this, and Krishna himself says, I will be more pleased if you give respect to my devotees. If you are servants of my servant, I become more pleased. So by their love and by this path of devotion, they can understand that. But on the path of following Maryada or rules and regulations only, this is not the concept. There the concept is follow rules and regulations, because simply by following rules and regulations you can satisfy Krishna. So they don't understand this intricate points of love. And that's what Saram Bhattacharya told. That's why they're going to Mahaprabhu. And in fact, Mahaprabhu is not only a devotee, but he's God. He's God. And Mahaprasad is not just Prasad, it is God himself. So by the power of love, they can understand this. And that is why they immediately take Mahaprasad. Although when pilgrims come, first day they are supposed to fast. They are not supposed to take even Mahaprasad. They are supposed to keep it and not take it. That was the norm. But they take, because they understand that taking Mahaprasad will please Krishna. It's not just matter of rules. Rules are for those who do not have this understanding of giving pleasure to him, who do not have love for him. For them there is rules. For people who are in love, then they can transgress rules if required. So that's what they did, these devotees did. Samudra snan kari kara chuda darshan tabe aji han ashi karive bhojan. So then he said, Mahaprabhu said, go to the sea, bathe, look at the top of the temple. After so doing, please come back here and take your lunch. So he said, okay, fine. So then Mahaprabhu said, okay, now you're in a holy place. So now go to the sea, bathe, and that's the system of holy place. So whenever anybody goes to a holy place, they're first supposed to take bath, either in the kund or in the sea, and then have darshan of the Lord, and then they should come back and honor lunch if it is required, and if they're fasting, then no need of lunch that day. So that is what the system is of bathing, of coming to the holy place. So Mahaprabhu, he said, okay, now you should go and follow all these things, and that will also fulfill the verdict of scriptures. So Prabhu namaskari sabe vasate chalila. Just a minute. Yeah. Prabhu namaskari sabe vasate chalila, gopinathacharya sabe vasa sthan dila. So after offering obeisance to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the devotees departed for their residences, and Gopinathacharya showed them their respective quarters. Now one point is there, we see on the path of love there are rules and regulations, and also other people who follow Vedas, they might be also following the same rules and regulations, but there's a difference between Maryada Marg and Bhakti Marg. So at the level of Maryada, like all these people who follow rituals and who study Vedas and who follow Varnashrama dharmas only, they follow dharma, a general dharma. They might be following the same rules and regulations as we are. For example, a Karm Kandi or a Vedic ritualistic priest, they also might be getting up early in the morning. We are also getting up. It is mentioned in the scriptures. They are also chanting in the morning. We are also chanting. It's mentioned in the scriptures. But our mood of following is very different from what their mood of following. Their mood of following scriptures is because scriptures is said by God, so we should follow, and simply by following whatever Krishna says, he'll be satisfied. But our mood is that yes, scriptures are said by God, and he's saying this, and we should follow that. But our idea is that because Krishna says this, and his devotees have ordered us this, and his devotees also wants this, that's why we are doing, just to please him, not just to follow what is mentioned in the scriptures. Following for the sake of following is not the idea. That is what Vedic ritualistic people and Karmkandis do, following for the sake of following. But we don't follow for the sake of following. We follow because it is said by Prabhupada or Acharyas and Krishna. That is why we follow. And that is why there are many things in Vedic scriptures which are said and we don't follow. Just like Shraddh. Shraddh is there in Vedic scriptures. It's a very important phenomena in scriptures, very evident. Everybody should do Shraddh. But we don't do because none of our Acharyas, they recommended it. And on the path of devotion, it's not there. Even devotional scriptures, they say it's not required. So why it's not required? Because our mood is different. Our mood is not for falling for the sake of falling. Our mood is to please Krishna. So that's why Acharyas adjusted the rules of Vedic scriptures so that we can spend our entire energy and time in pleasing him and not get involved in all those elaborate ritualistic ceremonies like yagyas which are mentioned in scriptures, like Shraddh, because if you are stuck up in those ritualistic things, then first of all we don't have time, and then we can't focus on the main limbs of devotional service, chanting, preaching, and we'll lose the opportunity to please him. So that was the idea, and that's what Mahaprabhu says. Now you go to sea, take bath, look at top of temple. They already knew that when you come to holy place, you have to take bath at the sea and look at the top of the temple. But they didn't do that. They did this after it was ordered by Mahaprabhu. So we follow scriptures we follow the devotees of Krishna who understand those scriptures and who can adjust those scriptures for our benefit. What they say we do. That's the idea, to give them and Krishna the pleasure. So our whole mood is different. So like for example, there's another example. So just like we read, so when we come new to the Krishna consciousness, we read, okay, we are not this body, we are soul, and we might also preach to others, you are not this body or soul. We do that. But then Prahlad Maharaj in Bhagavatam, he is also preaching, you are not this body, you are soul. And he's talking philosophy, just as any new devotee who comes to temple, he reads Prabhupada books and preaches, or we do. But there's a difference, both of them saying. When Prahlad Maharaj says you are not the body, your soul, and there's God and your relationship with God, he's talking philosophy, but his mood is not just to remember philosophy, but he's remembering his sweet Lord who spoke all these things. And he doesn't really want to tell them that you are body and you're not this body or soul. That's not only the message when he's giving this message. The message is that this is a message of my sweet Lord. This is a message of my Lord Vishnu. And he is perfect. Because his knowledge is perfect, this shows he is perfect. So that is glorification of Krishna. But for most of us, when we preach, you are not this body or soul, and all this philosophy, our mood is not just, so most of us, our mood is not to glorify him by speaking this. Our mood is just to make the other person logically understand spirituality. But Prahlad Maharaj, he had the mood of glorifying Krishna by speaking about this perfect knowledge. And this perfect knowledge proceeds from perfect person. So within himself, when he's speaking about soul, he's relishing super soul. That's the mood. So there's a difference between mood of Mahaprabhu's associate and other Vedic ritualistic people, Vedic ritualistic priests, which were there in Jagannath Puri, and many people used to come to Jagannath Puri. So Prabhupada was confused why these people didn't follow anything when they came to Jagannath Puri. And after Mahaprabhu says now they are following the same thing, they should have followed even initially. What was the problem? But because he didn't understand the mood of following all those instructions, the mood is very different, and that's why he was confused. So then Mahaprabhu says, so after this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to meet Haridas Thakur, and he saw him engaged in chanting Mahamantra with ecstatic love. Haridas chanted Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Mahaprabhu aila tabe Haridas milane, Haridas kare preme naam sankirtane. Mahaprabhu every day he used to go to meet Haridas Thakur, and Haridas Thakur was so fortunate that people go to God to have the darshan, but Mahaprabhu comes to him to give his darshan, and that is the standard of devotion. If we chant the holy names of Lord, as Haridas Thakur is showing, so if we chant the holy names of Krishna, Haridas Thakur is showing, then Krishna will come to us rather than we going to him. He will manifest his qualities, his pastimes to us. He will want to associate with us rather than we want him to associate with him. If we chant like Haridas Thakur, Kare Prem Naam Sankirtan. And if you read Bengali, that's very nice. It is said, Mahaprabhu Aila Tabe Haridas Milane, Haridas Kare Prem Naam Sankirtane. So this word is used, Prem Naam Sankirtane. It is not Naam Sankirtane, it is Preme Naam Sankirtane. In love, he was chanting in love. So we chant, but we don't chant in love. So if you manage to somehow, before you leave your last breath of this body, manage to attain love and chant with love, Krishna will come to you. You don't need to go to him. He will come to you. Prabhu dekhi pade aage dandvat hoya, Prabhu alingan kaila tare uthaya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he saw him, Prabhu dekhi pade aage dandvat hoya. As soon as Haridas Thakur saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he did dandvat. He just did dandvat. And Prabhu alingan kaila tare uthaya. And then Mahaprabhu lifted him up and embraced him. And here in this verse, entire Vaishnava philosophy is there in this verse. Entire Vaishnava philosophy in this small action. Whatever you are learning, whatever you want to learn, whatever you are achieving, whatever you want to achieve, whatever is your means, whatever is your ends, everything is there in this one verse. Prabhu dekhi pade aage dandvat hoya. So Haridas Thakur, as soon as Mahaprabhu came, he did dandvat. So you see, the purpose of life is to chant the holy names, which Haridas Thakur is doing. By chanting the holy names, you receive darshan of Mahaprabhu, Krishna. Mahaprabhu came and gave darshan. And then he did dandvat. He just paid his obeisances. And then what did Mahaprabhu did? He raised him and embraced him. And that is the point. The point is, God is both means and end. Unlike other processes where means and ends are different, the way and the goal is different. But here the way and the goal is one. In other words, we attain Krishna by the help of Krishna. That is devotional philosophy. We don't need anything else. We don't need any other process or any other thing to attain Krishna. Only through Krishna we can attain Krishna. There is nobody who can attain him. Only he can attain him. And if he wants, we can attain him. So he knows this, that means and ends are same. He comes in form of his holy names. Comes in forms of holy names. And when we chant holy name humbly, then he will pick us up and embrace. So that's what Haridas Thakur did. He chanted the holy names, and through the mercy what he achieved, not just by his efforts, that's the idea, not just by his efforts of chanting he could embrace Lord. No, by his efforts of chanting he attained mercy, and through the mercy Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he did dandvat, and then Mahaprabhu lifted him. He just didn't go and embraced him. The idea is if you go down, then you will be lifted up. But if you stand up, you will be pushed down. That's the idea. So he went down, and then Mahaprabhu lifted and embraced him. And that is idea. That is the idea. And that's what Sahajyas do wrong. Sahajyas, they want to immediately become gopis and embrace Krishna. No. You can't lift yourself. That he has to lift you and embrace you. So our idea is to do dandvat. That means our idea is to follow Dasya Ras. We should not just jump to Gopi Bhav or Sakhya or Vatsalya. Our idea is to become servant. And then Krishna's idea will be to uplift up us to either Vatsalya Bhav, Sakhya Bhav, Gopi Bhav, whatever he wants. And that is why this verse is so important. This is actually the essence of all our philosophy. We simply have to chant his names with the mood that we are his servant. That's all. That's all. And everything else will be done by our Lord. He will come. He will see us. He will give mercy to us. He will pick us up, and then he will embrace us. And his embrace is the symbol of his accepting his servant. It's not just ordinary embrace. Mahaprabhu, just like Krishna embracing gopis, the embrace which Krishna gives to gopis, that symbolizes that Krishna has accepted them. Krishna has accepted them. That is a symbol of acceptance. And if we can get embrace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Krishna in this life, this means our life is perfect. And that is why gopis were praying. Gopis were praying to Krishna, Krishna, please give your embrace to us. Please give the nectar of lips the nectar of your lips to us. So it might seem gopis are a person who is not in knowledge, they might think gopis are lusty, and what is this embrace and lips and kiss? If you don't have a proper understanding, the understanding is gopis knew that if Krishna embraces them, if Krishna kisses them, that is an indication that he has accepted them as his maidservants. And that is the import of this verse. God is the means and God is the end. He is the way. He is the way in form of holy name. He is the way in form of his form and his darshan. And He is the goal. He will come, lift you up and embrace you. That's what this verse is all about. And then 187 says, then both the Lord and his servant began to cry in ecstatic love. And the Lord was transformed by the qualities of his servant, and the servant was transformed by the qualities of his master. This is a beautiful verse, and I think next time you can read this, so you can continue this incident of Haridas Thakur, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's very emotional and very, very philosophical. This verse is also very philosophical. Both began to cry, and they were transformed by each of the qualities. So servant attains the qualities of Lord, and Lord attains the quality of servant. That is called love. And this probably we can discuss in the next class. Then Haridas Thakur will start speaking to Lord, and you can all read that. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So is there any questions? Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. What a beautiful class. Seriously, every minute of this class was so relishable. I really loved the way you described the principle of charity. And then it was nice to hear that actually it was Gopinath Acharya who came back as Baladev Vidyabhushan.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Thank you for giving that point. It was very nice.
Thank you.
And you so nicely described about the general norms and the essential norms. Certain circumstances, whatever norms should be followed.
Yeah.
And when I was being in the mood, of glorifying Krishna, that is something interesting. So I never thought of it that way. And he was always glorifying Krishna, whereas when we preach, we are actually trying to preach and convince the other person. We are not really in the mood of glorifying.
Yeah. That's true.
That's so nice. Lot to learn, Prabhu. Thank you so much. And also, how God is the means and the end, how Krishna is the means and end, and how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lifts him up and embraces him rather than he getting up, by himself. Like he can't even get up without the mercy of the Lord.
Yeah.
Wow. Very nice, very deep realizations. And thank you so much, Prabhu, for your time. This is so precious to us, your association. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for a wonderful class. Like Mataji said, relishable every second. When you described how we should not only just have a service attitude, but the consciousness with which we serve is important too. And our objective should be to please Krishna and to get that embrace. So my question is, I was just reading chapter 17 of Gita, Visions of Faith, and Prabhupada nicely explained, sacrifice, penance, and renunciation. And I'm a little confused as to the distinction between those.
Between Yagya, Dan, Tapa.
Sacrifice, penance, and renunciation.
It is austerities, sacrifice, and charity. So that's the verse there. Yes. So what's the difference between all three? That's what you're asking. Yeah, actually, Krishna says even even great personalities are purified by sacrifices, penance and charity. Krishna says that, and they should never be left. But then the idea there is that Prabhupada explains in the purport. What do you mean by actually charity and penance and austerity? And the idea there is, Prabhupada explains, real penance is to always remember Krishna and never forget him. That's the real penance. That is the devotional understanding of penance, and that is the highest understanding of penance, and that's what Srimad Bhagavatam says. So Sukadeva Goswami begins with this. Sukadeva Goswami says, Vasudeva Param Tapaha. So that is the real penance. And real sacrifice, Prabhupada explains, real sacrifice is preaching. That's the greatest sacrifice in this age. And charity, and real charity is to give knowledge to everybody. Is to preach about the message of the Supreme Lord. Real charity, real sacrifice is to sacrifice our own plans, our own ideas, and to accept the plans and ideas of God or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as it is. That's the real sacrifice. And real charity is to give whatever you have. Don't hold it back. Don't hold anything back. Give it. If you give, then Krishna will give to you. And that is a real mood of charity. So that's why Krishna says, yes, Yajna Dan Tap will purify you in this age, provided we can understand the real import of these. Because other people, because so many yogis are doing tapasya in Himalayas, but they don't get purified because they are not doing austerities in a way which is recommended for this age. They are doing austerities by their own speculation. So that's the point. If they are done in a proper mood, with proper understanding, then they can purify. And that understanding matches with Mahaprabhu's teachings, and then everything will become perfect. So that's what Krishna says in that verse. I think, is it clear? So that's what you were asking?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I know pronounced very, very, very beautiful class. Thank you so much for your valuable association.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, I have two questions. One is that, we know that Shankaracharya propounded this philosophy to take people from atheism, which was and then, what I'm not able to understand is why it's the Lord's plan to change the philosophy in such a way that Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Namakrishna Prabhupada, all Vaishnava Sampradayas had to fight it out so much.
No, Shankaracharya founded this philosophy. No, it was plan of Krishna like that, because you see, if anybody gives you something for free, you don't have any value for it. That's another thing. But if you get it after a fight, then you have value for it. So if Krishna would have given it without all this Mayavad stuff and everything, probably nobody would have appreciated it, first of all.
Hello.
So that's one point, because in Kali Yuga, we are all Shudras, we like those things which are got after fight, and we like violence, and we like all these things. So Krishna says, okay, fine. If you like all these things, okay, fine. So we will create a scene like that, and there'll be fight, and there'll be violence, there'll be politics in devotion realm, and then you read it, you will enjoy it, and then you will value it. Yeah, this is nice. So all acharyas defeated Shankaracharya. So all acharyas are like hero, and Shankaracharya is like villain. So people will like to read and get attracted and then understand. So that was one idea of planning it like that, so that it becomes valuable. So That was one thing, and then there are other reasons. So Krishna told Lord Shiva that there is no other way we can do it. It has to go like this, because there were so many reasons, and demons were being born to confuse others. So Krishna, so actually, whatever question you're asking, Shiva asked Vishnu is. So we don't have. So don't we have any other way to do this? Like simply we can do that? Vishnu said, in my opinion, there is no other way. It has to go like that. So that's the answer to this question. Is it okay? Is this what you were asking?
Yeah. Thank you so much. And regarding Govinda Ghosh performing,
Shraddh. Yeah. No. Govind Ghosh, he performs Shraddh because so not because he wanted to perform Shraddh. That was not the point. Because Govind Ghosh, he was a pure devotee of Krishna, and he wanted to actually glorify Krishna. So he actually forced Krishna to come and do his Shraddh. That's what he did by his love. And he showed people by his action that love is greater than Shraddh. Actually, so exactly opposite he did. People were interested in Shraddh at that time. All these Brahman communities. So he said, okay, and they were preaching them, okay, there's no need of Shraddh because people are. If Krishna is satisfied, everybody is satisfied. But then how to do that? So Govind Ghosh, he planned in such a way that, okay, he said, I don't have anybody to do Shraddh. He told Brahmins. So what to do? So Brahmins, they didn't have any idea what to do. If there's nobody in the family to do Shraddh, then what to do? And then he said, okay, fine, if Krishna will do, then I will accept it. So Krishna came and he did. And in the process, he showed to them, see, this is love. This is love. By you are doing Shraddh to satisfy God, and by my love, I force him to come and satisfy me. So what is greater? Love is greater, or your action of Shraddh is greater? And that was his plan. So that's like that. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we can do that. So you can ask and you can schedule. So I'm here in America for around another week. So we can always talk. We can do that. Okay, yeah, thank you. So I think I like to stop here because I have some other, I have to go. So will that be okay? I'd like to finish here.
No problem.
Okay.
Thank you so much again, and we'd love to hear you again.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for accepting our request and coming on call today. We are very, very benefited by this.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Vaishnava Namo. Hare Krishna. Vaishnava Vrind ki jai. Srila Prabhupada jai.
Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. His great Keshav Anand Prabhu ki
jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.